Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Sean todos ustedes bienvenidos a un episodio más de 3 de Trail.
Jorge no está conectado. El podcast donde el trail running y
la cerveza hacen el amor.
sí,
Qué
¿qué
buen día,
pasó,
qué buen
George?
día para fallar. Qué buen
Sí,
día para fallar.
exacto.
No pasa nada. Ok,
Bueno, señores, a ver.
estamos teniendo un problema técnico. Jorge nos lo está diciendo. Entonces, Jorge se va a salir un momento y va a volver a entrar mientras nosotros seguimos por acá hablando. No pasa nada. Listo, Jorge, sales.
Hola.
Y ahorita vuelves a entrar. Vuelves a entrar, Jorge. Listo. Ya vamos a arreglarlo. ¿Cómo estás tú, Juanse? ¿Cómo va todo?
Perfecto, me está palpitando el corazón así. Duro.
Ay, pero ¿y
Estoy muy
entonces?
emocionado.
¿Y entonces?
Claro, es que no todos los días podemos entrevistar a personas como este man.
Eso es demasiado cierto.
Es
Yo
muy
justamente
cool.
ahorita lo compartí en mi Facebook personal y les voy a compartir exactamente lo que escribí, porque es que es así de cierto. Mira, desde que yo comencé en esto de generar contenido para corredores de montaña, yo sigo a este tipo y hoy lo estamos entrevistando. Entonces pasen y vean cómo los sueños se hacen realidad uno a la vez. Ajá, aquí tenemos un amigo. Ahora sí.
Hola, ya.
Don Jorge.
¿Tenías algo para decir?
Que este es el podcast donde la cerveza y el trail running hacen el amor, creo.
Sí, señor.
Exacto.
Ahora sí. Bueno.
Y hoy con un gran invitado desde Arizona.
Hoy en
Sí,
inglés.
señor. Hoy en inglés. Ahorita vamos a cambiar el switch. Pero primero, esto es un episodio demasiado especial. Entonces, todos los que están conectados tienen que ya compartir la charla. Porque esto que va a pasar hoy, créanme que es épico.
Sí.
Esto, o sea, yo creo que le decía ahorita a el propio Jamil en backstage que esto que va a ocurrir hoy para el trail en Sudamérica, en Colombia, es increíble. Tener un corredor de la talla de él, un creador de contenido de la talla de él, una persona que ha hecho tantas cosas, que ha terminado tantas carreras tan increíbles, es brutal.
Señor. Ese es el enfoque que por lo menos por mi lado quiero darle hoy al tema. Es más allá de lo que corra este tipo, es el impacto que tiene. Entonces, bueno, antes de presentar al invitado, vamos a presentar a otra persona que hoy va a estar en el episodio de una manera muy especial, porque vamos a tener un traductor en tiempo real para aquellas personas que no entienden inglés o que no lo manejan muy bien. No pasa nada. El día de hoy contamos con la compañía y la presencia de un gran amigo de la casa, seguidor de 3G Trail desde el principio. Creo que ha ido a cuánto evento se nos ha ocurrido por la cabeza. El señor Alejandro. Alejo, ¿cómo estás?
Hola a todos, buenas noches. Súper contento de estar acá. De verdad que yo también estoy bien emocionado. Con mi cerveza al lado para bajar a los nervios, pero muy contento.
Sí, señor. Alejandro estaba ahorita en la casa y le sonó el citófono y mira, te llegó un domicilio de 3G Trail y obviamente tenía que ser cervezas.
Obviamente. ¿Saben qué es lo más chistoso? Yo acabo de pedir una pizza y como que me llamaron, yo sí, que siga, y después me volvieron a llamar. Yo no, otro domicilio, yo no, pues yo no pedí nada. No, que fue un regalo. Y yo, bueno, que siga.
Sí, está muy bien. Bueno, vamos a explicar a la gente cómo va a funcionar esto, porque obviamente deben estar ansiosos de ver al personaje. Alejo no va a estar en la cámara, pero él va a estar escuchando obviamente el chat, lo que estemos diciendo, y él va a escribir las respuestas, un resumen obviamente de las respuestas, lo más compacto y preciso posible, para aquellas personas que no saben inglés, que no entienden inglés. Alejo va a escribir más o menos la pregunta que nosotros estamos haciendo y la respuesta que está generando Jamil. La idea es llevarlo muy lento, ¿sí? Para que al primero Alejo tenga tiempo y segundo, pues para que quienes tal vez no manejan un inglés muy fluido como nosotros tres, pues lo puedan ir llevando.
Lo vayamos digiriendo.
Exacto, porque lo de hoy es fuerte. Entonces, Alejo, toda la gente que está conectada, entienda o no entienda inglés, ya mismo un comentario. Gracias, Alejo, porque Alejo se puso la 10 hoy, porque hoy nos dimos cuenta que no teníamos traductor.
Pero sí. Bueno, muchachos,
Así que, Alejo, muchas gracias. Te vamos a pasar la cortina por encima porque tenemos
Listo.
un amigo que
Que
quiere
invitar,
entrar.
un poquito
Así que,
más importante.
ush,
Sí.
qué feo eso. Bueno, vamos
Respiro.
entonces a
En el
dejar a
trail.
Alejo por acá. Vamos a
Yo
seguir.
les quiero decir algo, digámoslo en español, ahora lo volvemos a decir en inglés. Gracias a esto, gracias a la gente del Irish y gracias a la gente de Musem, porque todo esto lo hemos logrado juntos. Este momento
señor.
en especial lo hemos logrado juntos y gracias a ellos. Un cheers por ellos.
Sí, en serio, para nosotros este episodio es muy especial. Podemos tener aquí sentado a quien sea, pero particularmente tener hoy en día a quien tenemos es un honor, de verdad es un honor y sobre todo que para nosotros este tipo es un ídolo y mucha gente a veces no lo conoce, pero ese tipo es un ídolo para nosotros y tenerlo acá de verdad que es demasiado emocionante. Pero antes de eso, hablemos del episodio que salió el miércoles que estuvo bueno. Hubo unos
Sí,
comentarios bien
súper
interesantes.
interesante.
Ahí lo han ido escuchando varias personas
Sí.
y han salido buenas cosas. De hecho, en el último post de Instagram de 3 de Trail hay una tarea para que hagan
Sí,
después
señor.
de ese podcast.
Eso es más que correcto. Sí, señor. Bueno, ya entonces les dijimos que nos ayuden a difundir este chat. Este chat no, esta transmisión. Porque en este momento vamos a parar y vamos a volver a comenzar el podcast. Vamos a hacer un pequeño switch. ¿Okay? Un pequeño
A
switch.
ver cómo nos va.
Así que así va. ¿Listos?
Va.
Una cosa. Ahí está Alejandro, para quienes no saben inglés, Alejandro Sánchez Morales. Acá escribe, hola, Melén. Él va a ser quien envíe las preguntas y las respuestas de la charla. ¿Okay? Alejandro Sánchez Morales. Ahí está. Bueno, a lo que venimos.
Dale, pues.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to another episode of Tres de Trail.
The podcast where the beer and the trail running makes love.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Today with a very special guest from the United States.
Yeah, from Arizona.
Yes.
Fine, thank you very much.
Are we gonna talk shit or we're gonna?
No,
Go.
I don't want to talk shit. I want to go right now.
Alejandro es un crack. Alejandro está escribiendo bienvenida de Andrés en inglés. Qué crack. Bueno. Okay, so we are here to talk a couple of things with a very nice guy, an idol for us because we just don't like to run and run and run. We like to do something and leave something to the people. So tonight we're having a very special guest. So it's time. So good night, Jamil. Welcome.
Hey, thank you guys. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Thank you.
Very well.
For you.
For asking.
That's really nice. So
Here, so I'm ready to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You're ready. So
It's
let's
time
do
to
it.
make the cheers.
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 Cheers,
Thank you
Jamil.
very much. Bogota.
Where are you now, Gamil?
Yeah.
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, here at my
Okay.
office. Yeah.
You
Okay.
live in your office or you work at home?
This is my office. It's about a 15-minute drive from my house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So now you have the chance to go out like in a controlled way, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much just come straight here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna start like every other interview. I would like to ask you this: if you were a third person, how would you describe or who is Jamil Coury?
That's funny. I mean, I'm a trail runner. I'm a race director. And someone who just loves the outdoors and exploring on his own 2 feet. I love adventures and I love doing events that are challenging and push me beyond my limits.
Okay, that sounds really really good. Describes you beyond your limits. I think that describes you really
Perfect.
well.
So I'm gonna ask the real first question because this is the intro. For all you guys that are watching the streaming, I have a TV behind me, and there is, maybe you can see it, is a weird guy running a marathon in a helipad. Okay, who is that guy, and why did you did that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Kind of in the spirit of all of the quarantines that are happening, I wanted to do something in a small space and see if I could run really far on a really, really small loop. And I know that there's quite a few people doing that around the world right now. They're running long distances because they have no choice to go anywhere else. So they're on their rooftops or their balconies. They're in their living rooms. They're in their backyards or their gardens. And it's just cool to see that while I love running out in nature and on trails, we can also still run in a limited area too, and it can be fun, and you can get exercise, and you can still get that mental stimulation that I think we all love from running, but we can do it in a small area. So that's kind of why I did it, and it's just because it's there. You know, there's a rooftop square, and why not? That's my video guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They're here and there. So
How long did it take you to do the marathon? 6 hours.
Just under 6 hours. Yeah, 5 hours 55 minutes. You can't get very high speeds on that small loop. You're constantly
Because
turning
of the corners.
turning up the corners. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that Sebastian is going to continue, but I have a really question that works in the first question of Andres, and it's about what that guy in South Africa made yesterday. How's his name, Andres? Remember me?
Ryan
Sanders.
Ryan
Sanders ran 100-mile
around
his backyard. 250 meters
around his home,
and 26 hours, I think. What do you think about that?
I thought it was awesome. He's showing that you can do even a 100-mile race in your backyard. I mean, I guess I have to do it now that he did it, right? It was cool because I noticed his course had like a staircase in it with a lot of stairs, and like his house is like kind of on a hill, so it looked like he actually had a lot of climbing. If you add up all the laps, it was pretty significant, I think.
Yeah, it was like 6,000 meters of climbing. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Ok, para que Alejo pueda ponerse el día con la traducción, porque esto va rápido, obviamente es la emoción. I'm going to translate this second question for the people while Alejandro is translating the first question. Jorge le preguntó a Jamil sobre lo que hizo ayer Ryan Sanders, que es un corredor sudafricano de Salomon. Jamil también corre para Salomon. Y Ryan corrió ayer 100 millas. De hecho, iba a correr 24 horas alrededor de su casa en un recorrido de 250 metros. Cuando se dio cuenta, me imagino que cuando ya estaba llegando a las 24 horas,
estaba muy cerca de las 100 millas.
Faltaban 13 kilómetros.
Estoy cerca de las 100 millas, voy a terminar las 100 millas. Jamil dice que le gustaría hacerlo también, ya que lo hizo Ryan, pues él también quiere hacerlo. Por ahí está llegando una chica que se llama Lore. There's a girl called Lore who is an English teacher. So now we're gonna be a little embarrassed because there's an English teacher on the streaming, but who cares? So yeah, I was telling the people that you are like kind of jealous because you want to do the 24 hours or 100-miler around the house too, right?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have to see if it fits into my training program. I'm not very optimistic that Hard Rock is going to happen this year, but it's a 100-mile race in Colorado.
Yeah.
So it's not canceled yet. So I'm still training for that. But yeah, if it gets canceled, I might do maybe I'll do a backyard 100-miler. Who knows?
Yeah, in case that Hard Rock cancel, will be a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
And yesterday, a guy broke the 50 kilometers record too. He made the 50 kilometers in 2 hours
in a treadmill.
and 45 minutes. Yesterday was a good day to broke personal records.
Yeah, people are getting creative and trying to still do amazing things out there.
We're still waiting to see what's gonna Killian do, because I don't know what can he do that he hasn't did. So let me see if Alejandro has any comment. Yeah. Okay. Juan, do you have any questions?
Yeah, my question is, what is the motivation for Gamil all the days when you wake up of your bed? What is the motivation to go to the mountains and to make your life into the nature?
I mean, yeah, I think it comes down to, it's a place for me to clear my mind, get away from the stress of work and everything else, and just feel at one with, you know, the wind in my hair and the sun on my back, and just that sense of exploration. I mean, that's what I love. I love to do is explore, if I can, explore new areas and just really enjoy that aspect of it. That for me is just, as soon as I found trail running, and I've been trail running for probably 15 years now, I just knew it was my thing. I knew it was the thing that I wanted to do, that gave me a lot of joy. And I feel most alive when I'm on a long trail run. So if I'm exploring a new area, or even when it gets tough, I think that's an important piece of it, something that maybe some people don't like, but I love it. I love when, you know, you're thirsty and you're hungry and you're out there, and it just makes me feel alive. So I think that's a big draw for me.
Okay. Maybe I have a question to connect that one. It's do you feel that the trail running has transformed yourself into a better human, or into anything change from the beginning to now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it so long, and even before I was a trail runner, I was always backpacking and hiking and camping. So I've always been a very outdoors person. So, but I think for me, it helps keep me grounded to nature, and it helps that give me that connection that I think is important for all of us. And it's just a way to change your perspective. So if you do a really hard trail run, maybe something else in your life, it's like, well, I got through that really hard thing when I was out running, and so I can attack this other problem with this perspective.
Okay.
This is not my question, but I really wanted to know, how old are you, Jamil?
I am 35.
Okay. So when we announced, I mean, we were giving clues about who was going to be our next guest. In every episode, we kind of give a clue. So when we started to give clues about today, a lot of people told us, like, that's the long-haired guy from the Barkley Marathons. And we were like, yeah. So let's talk about the Barkley Marathons, because sure. I think that the most qualified person in the world to talk about the Barkley Marathons is you. That's my perspective. Maybe the people doesn't know, but you have been there 5 times, and you have never completed. You did 4 loops in 2017, 16?
15.
15.
Yeah,
15.
Okay. My real question is, what is about the Barkley Marathons that makes it worth trying again and again and again?
For me, it's it's just that it's the impossibility of it. The fact that only 15 people have finished it in over 30 years. It's this pretty much every race I've ever lined up for, no matter how difficult. And I've run a lot of tough races around the world, Western States, Leadville, Hard Rock, UTMB, this one in Andorra called Ronda del Sims. I've done a lot of races. I finished them all fine. Barkley, I can't finish it. And so that really gets at me. And it forces you to become a new level of an athlete. And it forces me to train harder than I've ever trained before, and to change my perspective on what hard training is and what's required to do something like that. So the approach is different, and it's something that is just very appealing for me. And I've just kind of fallen in love with the event in general. It's all the things I love. So there's navigation, it's self-sufficient. There's no one that's helping you. It's all on your own out there. And it's just extremely steep. The weather is nasty. I just love everything about it. And I'm going to keep going back till I finish.
Okay, that's where my second question begins. Do you think that when you got to finish the race, that you will be done, or maybe you will try it again, like John Kelly and this guy, Jared Campbell?
Maybe I would take a year off if I finished, but I think I would go back. It's something that it's constantly evolving. So the race, even if you finished it, it's going to change. It's going to probably get tougher. And so I just love the race so much. I love the format, the fact that there's all the unknowns. It just makes it interesting. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe if it takes me 10 years, maybe I would take a couple of years off, but.
Okay. I think the Barkley Marathons got relevance after the documentary, and for us in Colombia, it got really relevance because last year we got the opportunity to have the first Colombian running the Barkley Marathons, and I think that put the race in the trail map here in Colombia to watch what's about the Barkley Marathons. I think that's very special because it's not just a weird race. I think it's a special time of camaraderie. Maybe I don't know. I think the ambient and the mood of the race that makes it really unique, right?
I think that the Barkley Marathon is the pure essence of the American trail running is just running for love. I think this.
Yeah, when I'm out there, and they say out there is the term they use when you're on course. I mean, I really do. It does feel very pure. There's no required gear. I mean, we end up taking a lot with us, but it's very much you against the course, against your mind. And when you're freed from everything. So there's sections that you're not even on a trail. You're just running through the woods, hopping over logs, going through briars that are tugging at your skin. And so I kind of feel like a kid running through the forest, and I'm free. And it's just, you're hunting for these books in the forest, and it just feels like a treasure hunt, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, I have a question that maybe you are giving us the answer from the beginning of Andres' question. My question is, what is the race that if you could, you will go every year? So will be the Barkley?
Yeah, I think
at least until you finish.
Yeah, Barkley, I'll go every year till I finish. And Hard Rock is another race that I love also, but it's been harder for me to get into that one. So I usually get in every other year for Hard Rock.
Okay.
Juan, do you have any questions?
No, and maybe an European race, you don't have a special race that you want to repeat?
I would like to do Ronda del Sims again. because the one time I ran it, I didn't go as fast as I would have liked to. But I really love that race. It has a lot of areas that feel like Colorado to me. It's just at a lower elevation. So that's another special one. I would love to do that one again.
Which one you say? Excuse me, I didn't hear it.
It's Andorra. The race in
Andorra. Okay.
Andorra, yeah.
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 Close to Spain, next to Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In between Spain and France.
Okay.
So-
Jorge.
And maybe a question that could work here about what kind of event do you prefer? Talking about, for example, UTMB and Hard Rock, that both of them are really different. You know, the big arcs in Chamonix, a lot of people, merchandising everywhere, to the simple that is Hard Rock. What do you prefer? What kind of event?
Honestly, I do like both. I enjoy the simplicity and the wilderness experience of Hard Rock. You know, it's not a lot of people. Everyone knows each other. So there's a great camaraderie between the runners and the spectators. You know, it's a family. It's a family feel. UTMB is different. I think it's also can be fun, and I think it's great because it's just the magic of having that many people. You know, throughout the world, there's so many of us that enjoy trail running, but there's so few places where you feel like you're part of this really big movement, other than when you go to something like UTMB, where there's over 2,000 people in the race. There's like tens of thousands of people watching in person. There's people watching around the world. So there's something that's magical about that too, that with just the music they play and the pageantry that they have, it's really something else. And I enjoy both. I tend to probably like the Hard Rock style more, just because I think if you're at UTMB like all the time, it's too much. It's too crowded. And I think doing it, you know, a special time, maybe once or twice is enough for me.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let's let's wait till Alejandro gets some time with us. He's really close. He's doing a really good job. I mean, he's typing like a beast.
He's very very fast. Yeah. and he's writing.
He's writing everything.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yes.
Okay, so I have this question because you're a content creator. I think we are content creators. And now I think with all this that is happening in the world, it's like it's sad, but it's like our time. You know, it's like, okay, we have been practicing for this for a lot of time, so now it's our turn. What do you think the role of YouTubers and content creators about trail running will be from now on? Do you think it's going to change, or do you think, or don't you think that?
Yeah, I think just in general, I think the content creators in the sport are integral and they're super important because, I don't know, a shoe company or a certain race, they're kind of reaching the people that are already in the sport. They might be drawing in some people, but I think the storytellers and the content creators are the ones that are reaching people to tell stories about the races and everything else and the athletes. And I think that's just so important for the sport in general, reaching people, motivating people, inspiring people. And yeah, I think you're right. It is kind of the time to go now when there's not a lot else going on. So I know I've been trying to put more out there, and some things that have been on the sidelines kind of take this time to put additional content out into the space. It's tough because there's a lot of ideas I have where I want to go run with people and do challenges and go to races, and we'll just have to wait for that to come back at this point.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so we were talking about before we start talking with you about the references, or maybe the reference that you are for us in content create business. Maybe who is a referent? Who is that guy that you think that, okay, I wanna do things like him.
Like this guy, yeah.
I think, especially when I started making videos, I mean, I definitely looked up to guys like Billy Yang and Ginger Runner, Ethan Newberry, for sure. They're probably some of the biggest ones. They were guys that are putting out really amazing films and storytelling around the sport. And so I definitely kind of strive for something like them to, I love the idea of telling a story and capturing people's emotions. So I think nothing gives me greater satisfaction than that. And out of all the stuff that I do in terms of YouTube videos, that's my favorite, is really capturing something that people wonder, like, wow, how did you get that? The way I felt when I watched that was something special. And that's when I know that like a job was well done.
Okay, and maybe do you have one special video or documental from these guys that you say that, oh, this is my favorite one?
From them? I mean, I'm trying to think like some of the older stuff they put out that I would have seen. I don't know if I can specifically say. I mean, Ginger Runner's Where Dreams Go to Die was pretty awesome.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite from Ginger Runner is Decade On.
It's Decade On, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The story of Brian Morrison in Western States.
Western
really
States,
awesome.
Yeah.
Really awesome.
Yeah, I think so too. Those two are the best from Ginger Runner, for sure. Okay, I have a composed question about races. What is the race where you never want to be again? And what is the race that you wanna be for the first time?
Cool. Never want to run it again is the Umstead 100 in North Carolina in the United States. It's a 12.5 mile loop. I don't know how many, maybe 20 kilometer loop. It's a 100-mile race. So you run 8 loops, and it's pretty much just a wide, flat dirt road, a little bit of rollers, but not a lot of climbing. And you come right back to the start finish after every lap, and it's easy to quit. And so it was just a really hard race. I finished it, but it was one of the toughest finishes I've ever had. And you wouldn't think it being such a flat race. It's not difficult because of the terrain. It's difficult because of how flat it was.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever want to go back to one. In terms of one I have never done before, the Grand Raid Reunion on
Grand Raid.
Yeah, Grand Raid. That looks amazing. It looks very difficult. The atmosphere with all the entire island coming out, and like it looks like a giant party. Really love to do that one someday.
So
okay,
you are not you run any other time more than 100 miles or just
Yeah, I did the Tahoe 200.
The Tahoe 200. Okay.
California.
I've got to say that you're the first guest who answered this question directly. I mean, everybody is like, oh, all the races are special. I really don't want to say, but you were like, dude, this one.
Okay.
Yeah, you are the first one. Everybody thinks about it until the finish of the video.
Yeah.
I have a question with this type of races that you say that were difficult races. What do you think about the 200-mile races?
Yeah,
it's
a different approach, because they usually give you a lot more time. So the time limits are very generous. So you can go slow. So like a 100-mile race, typically maybe they give you 30 hours. But 200, so you double the distance, they give you 100 hours.
Yeah.
So you have a lot more time. I mean, usually you have to sleep more because you're out there longer, but you can go slower. You can do 50 miles each day for 4 days, and you can finish. So in that regards, it can be easier than 100 because you don't have to go as fast, but it's also really long. It's a long way.
Yeah.
So it just wrapping your head around that you're going to be out there for days and not just hours it's hard to. You can't really think about it. You can't think about the whole thing at once. You have to break it up into pieces as you go.
And this type of races, we're going to create a new generation of long distance runners. I think like Cornida Walter is one of these girls that break records.
Yeah, I think the 200-mile, especially these point-to-point, more epic ones they're still pretty new. So we haven't seen the most competitive, with maybe the exception of Courtney. A lot of the most competitive runners haven't stepped up yet. So I think over the next probably 10 years, we're going to see, I think, the times coming down as people push the limits of what's possible at 200 miles.
Okay,
I'm really surprised because Jamil said, like, 200 miles is, I think it's easier. What?
Yeah, but the thing that he say is real, is more hours for more distance, so you can sleep more times.
It's like a speed hike, right?
4 days would be easier, but yeah, if you're doing it in 48 hours, it's definitely hard, really hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is my question. I am like the geek of the podcast here, so I'm gonna ask the tech and the tech questions. So here goes. What do you see the future of virtual races, of virtual trail running from now on? Because not only this is going to change the game. There have been a lot of virtual races around the world from, I don't know, 5 years from now. I mean, the past, the last 5 years. And like GRGR, that is a huge race. How do you think how do you see the future of the virtual trail running?
I mean, I think we got a little bit of an insight, 2 weekends ago with the quarantine backyard ultra. I don't know if you guys caught that one.
Yeah.
Where they had hundreds of people on a Zoom call and they were all battling until there was only one person left. And it was pretty captivating. I think I would love to see more of that. I'd love to see more creative ideas because currently we're seeing, the normal race gets canceled. So we're like, well, let's do that, but virtually. But it doesn't make a lot of sense because when I design a course or if you do a race, you want to go to that place and run the actual trail. So I think we're going to see a new era of just creative ideas. And I don't know what those are. I see there's some people doing we've got some like a vertical challenge. People are doing 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. They're doing these last person standing. So I think it'll be interesting to see more spectator type sports too. Where people can really watch it unfold. I think even with the quarantine backyard ultra that they just did, the people that were on the main screen, only 4 people would be on the screen and all 20 other people would be off screen running. So it'd be more interesting to have everyone on the screen where you can watch them. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens and how long all of the shutdown lasts too.
Actually, you are doing one virtual race right now. It's called Limitless Vertical. I think I was reading the information today, and I think that it's pretty focused in something, and you have a lot of different kind of finishers. So that it's really interesting.
Yeah, you have 1 week to climb as many feet or meters as you can, and we've picked these iconic mountains or buildings that you can level up. So you can do the Empire State Building in New York, is so high, or you can do Mount Whitney or Everest and see how much you can hit these levels. So it's a way to inspire people to do something. And I know depending on if you're locked down in your home, it's going to be maybe you can't do it. and it's going to be tougher. You might have to do repeats of your stairs in your building or something. I don't know. Or maybe we'll have to do it again, a couple months later. But yeah, it's a way to just give people a challenge and stay motivated. I think if you don't have anything on your calendar, like no races, it can be tough to stay motivated. So do what we can.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe we can be in the virtual race, and you can send us everything that you are giving, the T-shirt, the number, and everything to Colombia?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, we ship internationally. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So we are gonna share this in Colombia. There's maybe a lot of people that wants to be in that challenge.
Be awesome.
Okay, so this is the time, chicos, este es el momento para que envíen sus preguntas. Les dejamos un comentario de que envíen una pregunta por persona. No es por ser mala onda, sino para que podamos responderlas de todos.
Las
¿sí?
de todos, sí.
Quienes han enviado preguntas, porfa, envíenlas otra vez, porque obviamente con la traducción de Alejandro esto va subiendo muy rápido.
Está subiendo rapidísimo.
Se nos pierden. Jamil, there's a question for you. I think this is a nice question from Claudia. How do you handle mental toughness, and especially in this current time, we are not able to train that much?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for me, I have, caught me off guard a little bit. Right now, it kind of feels like we're all running an ultra marathon, but for life. It's we're in the middle of an ultra right now. We don't know where the finish line's at. We don't know when things are going to get better. They might get worse before they get better. So I think there's a parallel with running. And I think for me, I use my experience in that when I've done trail runs or long runs in a time like this, I know that right now I just got to put my head down and keep moving forward in life. And if that means not training right now, or that means I got to do loops in my living room, or any way I can, I do that while I can, and know that there's going to be a time in the future when it's going to get easier and you can go back outside and hit the trails again, or just even run around your block. So that's kind of what I do, is just try and use this time as a training exercise too.
Okay, there's a beautiful question. I think it's simple, but it's nice. In 2 words, how do you describe trail running?
Freedom, sunshine.
Libertad, sunshine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very sunny here.
Okay. Bueno, there's a question from the only Colombian who has been in the Barkley Marathon.
Yeah, and it's really fun.
It's in Spanish, but I'm gonna translate for you. This is Santiago. Are you receiving partners to be part of the managing of that race that you have just bought, the Barkley Marathon?
Well, that was an epic April Fool's joke. So, yeah.
So, tell us about it, because maybe somebody doesn't know about it.
Oh, about the joke?
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, there was a writer. He writes an article on irunfar.com, which you guys probably know about. And it was on April Fool's Day. And he said that myself and Gary Robbins, who's another Barkley participant from Canada, that we teamed up, we bought the Barkley, and that we were going to make all these changes. And it's funny because some people got the joke, and it was kind of borderline believable. So there's a lot of people out there that read it somehow, and they thought it was real. And so every once in a while in my life, I'm just, as I'm doing whatever, like going to races, people will congratulate me on buying the race and taking over the race, which is just a joke that's gotten out of hand. So we recently, me and Gary were training in Tennessee, and we made a spoof video with all of our ideas for changing the race and put it on YouTube. So,
yeah, this year there were 2 really fun jokes on April Fool's. The first one, the Salmon with Killian, and he were retiring from trail running and start fishing. I don't know how anybody could buy that, but okay. But I think the funniest one was the ginger runner fool, because he told everyone like, okay, I'm taking Killian's Jornet spot on
Yeah.
Salomon team. That was really awesome because he did it like in one day.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. Chicos, no sé si tienen preguntas, envíenlas porfa. Vamos a hacer otra ronda, creo que puede ser la penúltima ronda ya de preguntas.
Yeah.
Y envíenlas porfa si tienen alguna. Jorge, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. So I was reading about that thing that you made that is called Slam of the Damned
Yeah.
in 2015. And well, maybe tell us a little bit about that. And I really want to ask about that. You are saying that maybe you're gonna do the second part with another races, but I never find if you do it, if you did it, or you are not. You are thinking about the races.
Yeah. So yeah, back in 2015, I was applying to different races, and in this, a lot of races that require lotteries. As you guys know, it's a tough thing. And there's the thing in the U.S. called these slams. So the Grand Slam is the 4 oldest 100 milers in the U.S. So it's Western states, I think Vermont, Leadville, Wasatch. So I decided to create my own, because I got into the Hurt 100, which is an extremely tough 100-mile race
in Hawaii. It's awesome.
And that's a lottery. So I got lucky there. I got into Barkley again, which is very hard to get into. I got into Hard Rock, which is hard to get into. And then I got drawn for UTMB. So these are 4 very difficult races to run, but also to get into. And so I wanted to make my own slam, and the name Slam of the Damned, I think someone on Twitter recommended it. Actually, I think it was Christopher McDougall, the guy that wrote Born to Run.
Yeah.
So just kind of the name stuck, and I finished all the races except Barkley. I didn't finish it that year, but I got 4 loops. So it was a fun challenge. Part 2, I don't even remember what part 2 was supposed to be. So I guess maybe that's still coming, and I'll have to see.
Okay.
Maybe
Cool.
2021, we'll have to see what part 2 looks like.
Here's a fun question. No, it's not fun really, but I think it's a really good question. It's all again from Santiago, the Barkley.
Yeah.
The Barkley, the
It's
Colombian.
a really good question.
What do you think? Barkley marathons. What do you think? What's going to happen with Barkley marathons when Lazarus is not with us anymore?
That's I don't know. That's a question I don't want to think about really, because I think he is the Barkley. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it wouldn't be the same. Can it exist beyond? Probably. I just don't know what that would look like. He brings so much of his character is embedded and woven into the race. So I don't know. I really want to finish it with Laz there. So hopefully that happens next year.
Okay, there's one more question. I like it. It's from Tanu Sola. He's from the Patagonian region down in South America. Let's talk about your race, Javelin 100, sports, party and sports. You're a race director, right? Tell us about it.
Yeah, I've been directing races since 2009. So took over the Javelin 100 then. Actually, 2008. Sorry, can't even remember. It's been so long. Took over the Javelin 100. That was the first race I ever organized, but it was someone else started it. So I did not start the race, but I took it over for its 6th year. And the race was always about having a good time and partying in the desert. And so we've taken that and really amplified it. And we've tried to make it the biggest trail running party in the US, maybe the world. We've got some really wild elements to it. There's a disco in the desert. There are people having just a lot of fun. And I don't know what else they wants to know about it, but yeah, really enjoy that one. It's our biggest event, and it's a lot of work.
I'm gonna let the link of the website. Give me a second.
Okay.
Uh,
And I have a question, Jamil. I want to know, what do you think about this new challenge, like persons like Ricky Gates, it's made now, like the Trans American. He is making new lines of what running is for the people and for the world. What do you think about it?
I mean, I love it. I love everything that Ricky does. I think he's one of the most creative minds in the sport in terms of, yeah, not only is Transamerica, I mean, a lot of people have done that, but then what he's done with like the Every Single Street project was really
Yeah.
cool. And then I saw something that I thought was really interesting he did when he was in Mexico City is he ran like the main road in Mexico City from north to south. It was something like 30 miles long. So he literally ran one single road in a straight line for 30 miles. And I think that, and actually me and my brother did that here in Phoenix. We ran Central Avenue, which goes right through all of our town there's a mountain on the north side. It's called North Mountain, and then South Mountains on the south. So we started at the top of the mountain. We ran down on trails, then on the roads for 20 miles all the way through downtown Phoenix, and then back up the trail to the summit of the other mountain. And it was a really cool way to see the city. Like I've driven the road, but never all the way in one shot. And it was just very interesting perspective. And I think Ricky's really good at that, about trying something different and not doing the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Maybe we have a street in Bogota where we can do that. Maybe we can think about it, guys.
yeah.
Around the,
Dude, I think
Okay, listen. From now on, I'm gonna alternate from a question from the audience and one question from us. We have like maybe 10 minutes more. This is from the audience. Jamil, a place, not a race, a mountain where you would like to run sometime.
I would love to go back to the Himalayan area. I've been to northern India before. I did a hike there, but I think it would be fun to go run there.
Okay.
Okay, Jorge.
Have you ever been? Have you ever been here in South America? No.
No, the closest I've been is Costa Rica and Nicaragua.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a challenge. Okay.
Yeah.
and tell us about not the race, the place that you love the most in the whole world. Where is that place that you really love?
It's probably the San Juan Mountains in Southwest Colorado, where Hard Rock is.
Okay.
Where Hard Rock is. Okay.
I have one question. What do you prefer, run with someone or run alone?
Probably alone.
Okay.
Okay, there's a question from Juan Gabriel Moreno. Would you be interested on being a part of a couch surfing community for trail runners?
That'd be interesting. I haven't really thought about that. I think that would be interesting to check out for sure.
Yeah, I think that will be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is no. I'm gonna change my question because I have a real a question that I really like to close the chat. What can you tell us? Yeah, let's talk about for a minute about Lazarus Lake. He's one of my biggest references. In fact, I am a race director too here in Colombia, and we did an adaptation from Barkley Marathons here called Rompepiernas, Leg Breaker, here in Colombia. What can you tell us about him that probably nobody can tell from the videos on the histories, right? Stories. What is who is Lazarus Lake?
yeah, I think he has like this perception about him. He's kind of just a genius kind of a guy. He's super smart. I think he actually has an accounting background. Maybe a lot of people don't know that about him. He also coaches high school sports a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I think he's one of the most fascinating people in ultra running. He's a living legend. He's someone who has been involved in the sport for, I think, the better part of 40 years. And even I have almost every issue of Ultra Running Magazine, which is this U.S. publication, and he wrote in the very first issue. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say about him other than, yeah, everything he does. I mean, he's creating new genres for the sport right now, and it's really inspiring to see what he comes up with next. And yeah, I'm excited to see what is on the horizon for him.
Okay.
Right. I have a maybe a question here.
It's your last question, dude.
Yeah, and it's because of my dreams right now. In here in Tres de Trail, we have only 100-mile finisher is Andres, and I want to be a 100-mile finisher, and I want to do a race in the United States in the 2021. It will be the Orcas Island.
Dude, that was a secret.
Not anymore.
Marica.
So, but the real question goes here. My dream race is the Hard Rock 100, and I really want to prepare it for the 2022. That's another secret. And you two guys never know it.
Don't tell anyone, guys.
Well, you tell me and tell to other people that wants to run that first 100-mile race about what is a 100-mile race.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah.
What we have to do?
To do. I mean, you have to decide. You have to decide that you are going to finish no matter what, and I think it's mental. It's really a mental thing. So, like, what's the longest you've run so far?
Tell me.
How far have you run? Have you done a 50-mile, 100K?
Yeah.
120. Yeah.
120K last year.
Okay. So I think getting from that to 100-mile, which is what, 160K or so. Yeah. I mean, I think it just comes down to mental. So physically, you don't have to do a whole lot different in terms of your training. I think that if you're ready for 100K or 120K, you can do 100-mile. It's about mindset, and it's about, you're going to expect to go through more low points. So it's going to get hard, especially in the early hours of the morning, and just trying to keep your mental attitude strong. And that if you want it bad enough, you'll get there. You'll get to the finish.
Dude, and buy your own Red Bull because you still owe me one Red Bull.
Yeah. I still own him a Red Bull in the kilometer 38 of my 120s.
Oh man, that's early.
Yeah. And so your preferred distance is 100 miles?
I do like 100 miles because it's hard. You go through so many different mindsets in 100, even more so than say 100K, that I think it's just a different experience. And 100K, you can do it within a day, and 100-mile is more than a day. And I think there's something magical in that.
Okay.
I
finished.
Okay. I have maybe the last question. Jamil, what do you think about how the trail running races in the world were going to change with this thing that is happening now? How do you... Yep. What is going to happen?
Yeah, I haven't really thought about too much globally. We're right now, my livelihood is dependent upon race organizing. So currently we're doing the virtual race thing. But yeah, it's going to change. I don't know when we're going to be able to get back and have hundreds and thousands of people on a trail, interacting, all grabbing from the same table. So right now, I don't really know if I have a strong answer for that at the moment. It might look more like smaller numbers or distributing the experience, or more self-organized types of running events. Maybe even more run a route, but on your own on a different day than other people. So maybe you'll do a race and you'll have a week to complete it, and everyone has to run at a different time. I don't know. It's going to be different. So I think it's showing us that maybe we took for granted what we had, and how good it was. So we'll have to just kind of see.
Okay,
good. But maybe do you think that for the 2020 the races will be with less people, maybe less distances, less kilometers, only races of half marathon, no more than that?
I think it's going to have to be a smaller number of people for sure. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Hard. Yeah, it's hard. It's tough because none of us can plan. We're all kind of on hold. So it's a tough place to be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Gracias, Alejandro. Muchísimas gracias por el trabajo que está haciendo. And now we're gonna make the finish of the chat.
Yeah, I always do the same question to our guests to do the closure. I think it's a hard one. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, this guy answered the unlike race like. Yeah, I don't care.
I didn't like that race.
So, Jamil, how would you like to be remembered?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess as someone who inspired people to push beyond their limits. I know I said that earlier, but to dream big and to go after your dreams, really. That's what I'm trying to do as an athlete, and it's what I'm trying to do as a race director, is create something that is inspiring and gets people to do something they didn't think they could do, and to experience something that's life-changing is the goal. And maybe it doesn't happen at all of our events, but ultimately I want my legacy to be to create a few amazing events that changes people's lives and to inspire them that way.
Okay.
I
like that question. Okay, so now I'm gonna introduce Alejandro to the streaming, because I think he really deserves a big thanks, because he has been typing for an hour, and he have a really good job. So, Alejandro, turn on your camera, dude. Alejandro, your camera. Come on.
Alejandro is dead. Yeah.
Okay.
He can't use his hands. So, okay, well, Alejandro, he's asking for a moment. Momento. Okay. Well, Alejandro left the room. Okay, Alejandro, big thanks. Really, really, really appreciate what you did here, because I think it's tough. I mean, for the three of us, it's tough to interview someone in English. Yeah. So I think this have been a group work, a team work. So to make this possible, here is Alejandro. Okay, Alejandro, thank you so much for your work, dude. Are you tired?
Guys, thank you. Really, really tired. Estoy vuelto mierda. Pero gracias. Gracias por invitarme. Jamil, thank you for being with us tonight. It was amazing, like hearing all of your experiences, all of your insight. It's been amazing. Like, I hope to eventually talk a little bit further and get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me. Thanks for helping to translate too. I appreciate it. Kudos, you guys are great in English, so wonderful job.
Okay, thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Ale. Okay, guys, this is it. The dream came true. We interviewed one of our references, so we are really happy. Thank you, Jamil, for being with us. Thank you for sharing practically on a daily basis your way of life. I think that's the best way to describe it. Your way of life and your philosophy. Thank you so much for being with us. We hope this is not the last time. We hope to see you someday running here in South America and Colombia.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe we back in the US.
Yeah, of course. In 2021, of course, we're gonna find Jamil in a race.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you so
Jamil.
much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bueno, chicos, no sé, ¿ustedes quieren decir algo?
Estoy sin palabras.
Sí.
No sé, ¿verdad?
Qué brutal.
Más allá de lo que pasó, lo brutal de todo esto creo que es la comunidad que se ha generado alrededor del podcast y de esta idea de 3 tipos hablando sobre trail running y ya. Este es un proyecto simple que nació de la nada, literalmente, y gracias a la gente poco a poco hemos ido agrandando la comunidad, que es lo más importante. De verdad que fue brutal. Para mí esto es mierda.
Marica, acabamos de entrevistar a Jamil Coury. Qué loco. Qué
Entonces,
loco.
nada,
No, es que
Y lo que se viene.
no les contamos todavía. Chicos,
no.
este fue el episodio número 42 de 3 de Trail. Espero que lo hayan disfrutado tanto como nosotros. Cuídense mucho, sean buenas personas, practiquen el inglés y nos
Lávense
vemos.
las manos.
Practíquenlo, seguro. Les va a servir.
Sigan practicando en inglés. Cuídense mucho, sean buenas personas y nos vemos pronto.
Un gran abrazo. Chao.
No, el man súper bien.